How's it going, guys? Hope you're all doing well. So welcome to a brand new Let's Make video. So in this one, we're going to be doing some filtered Jackin House. Yeah, Jackin House is quite a broad sort of genre. There's a lot of like different styles of it. My favorite type of Jackin House uses like disco loops and funk and soul loops. So we're going to be using my latest sample pack, Funky Disco House Volume 1. And just click the link below if you want to get your hands on it and follow along. I've actually done a walkthrough video of that sample pack, so I'll leave a link for that below as well. But basically, this is the filtered disco house loop we're going to use today. We're going to chop it up and mangle it, but let's play this in full just so you can hear it. Right, so I'm going to show you everything I've got on the channel. They're all off at the minute. So we've got an EQ here, cutting 150 Hz. Okay, so it's off. We'll turn it on. So just cutting the lows. Right, next we've got an LFO tool or any side chain. So we just want this duck and the kick. So once again, I'll play this and turn it on. There we go. Back off. And we could ease off that later on. We'll see how it goes. Well, that's all right for now. And the last thing we've got is just an auto filter. And we're going to be using this throughout the track to get that sort of French house touch. So I'll mess about with this now. Yes, that's the idea. Great, so I'll turn that off for now. We'll leave these on though. I'm not going to go through all the loops because I've went through them in quite a lot of videos now. So to save a bit of time, I'm just going to grab kick loop 2. So this one here. So I'm just going to cut the low end off the kick, just 40 Hz. Again, just to get us started. We can tweak all this later on. Right, let's play these both together then. Try the filter. So what I'm going to do is move this to one side. Actually, I'll double it. I'm going to call this full disco loop, and I'll actually give it its own channel. We'll call this one disco chop. And what we're going to do next is create a loop within a loop. So we have a little section that says loop here. So we're going to click it, and we can move this now and create our own micro loops. I was liking the first one, actually, just doing a little section like this. Maybe do that. That might work. That's a good idea. I'll show you more of this though, because there's loads of combinations in here and loads of little track ideas. You can really mash all this stuff up. So I'll give it a play. If I get the filter on that. Keep going. So there's another little one. So we'll probably use that as a little fill later on, just to keep this loop like interesting and not repetitive. Or even go shorter. Let's go back to the beginning though. I was liking this here. So we've got 4 sections here. I want this to repeat 3 times, which it does. Then we've got the variation here. So we're just going to go in and pick a different section. So this is a really basic cut, but it's taken it away from its original sample source, and it's giving it that French house sound now. Okay, Okay, so we're going to get a sub bass in. So let's get operator. So I'm actually just going to play the bass line using my laptop keys. So if you want to do that, just click on this. So F sharp. I'm going to put the sustain to 0. I'm going to drop the course to 0.5. And I'm also going to bump this level up to -20. So I'm just going to try this now. Yeah, that's nice. So I'm going to take one last listen to the disco chop. And I'm just going to replicate the bass line using our new sub bass. So when I originally recorded this, it was in G. I've actually pitched this loop down to F sharp, but I think I know the notes here. It's 4 notes. So it starts in F sharp. That's basically it. And at the end. Right, so I'm going to record this and then we'll look at the MIDI afterwards. So I've very roughly got that in there. So let's just solo it. I'm going to press Control and U to snap everything to the grid. Tweak that there. So I'm turning the disco loop off just to hear this a bit more clear. Okay, change that. And that one. So I could repeat this, but I actually like how all the notes are different hits and different lengths. Yeah, so we'll keep them in. I'm going to add some swing. I'm going to tighten this as well. I'm just going to move things off. These are all happening on the kick and the clap. Maybe move them off a little bit. But yeah, I want to add some nice swing to these like off notes. This one here. Yeah, so I'll quickly do this. So we'll re-listen to this and then we'll add the disco loop. Okay, so I'm going to play the disco loop and then I'll add the bass. Right, here we go then. Here with the kick. So obviously we need sidechain. Actually, let's just get the one from the disco loop. Just copy and paste it. Right, let's try this now. That's better. Turn this up. I like it. Yeah, it's working nicely, that. So we'll get this across. I'm going to keep it as MIDI for now because we're going to do chops here. So the MIDI is definitely going to change as we like build on this. But for now, let's get that all the way across. So I'm going to rename it bass, color it. We could shave a little bit more of this disco loop now. So we'll take another listen to it. I think we can afford to cut this to 200. I'm going to try again. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Okay, really good stuff. So I'm going to group these up. Right, so we're going to get an open hat first. So let's go to the filtered French house folder. I know we've got some 909 stuff in here. So open hat loops. Nice. Right, we'll get this in. Try this one. That's nice. Got a nice raw sound, so yeah, we'll get that in. Try this one as well. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking all of these. That's nice as well. Okay, we'll try that. I think the first one's my favourite. Let's re-listen. I'm going to turn the disco loop off. Yeah, I really like that. It's cool as well. Prefer the 909. No. Still prefer the 909. Right, that's nice. Let's test these two out. Okay, I think I like this one. I think I prefer this now. So let's put that there. And last one. Yeah, okay. Right, great. So let's get it across. We'll get the low end off first. So about 300 hertz. Okay, so I'm putting the disco loop back on. So we'll play everything now. Okay. Really like that. Turn the bass off. Really like that. I'm going to colour it up then. We'll actually group this up. We'll put this up here. I'm going to pan this open hat 10 right. So we're going to go in and get a clap loop. We'll just get a basic one. So we've got 20 in total. We're just going to go through these and pick a favourite. Really like that. Okay, we'll get that in straight away. We'll get this in. I think I prefer the first one though. Alright, why not? Cool. Okay, keep going. Right, so we've got 4 claps here, so let's just pick our favourite. Right, I think I prefer the first one. Delete that. Right, that's nice. That's like a Jackin feel. Okay, it's out of these two then. So we'll re-listen. Oh, I really like that. I like them both, but yeah, let's use the third one. The clap loop 3. I'm going to play this along with a kick now. And the open hat. Maybe that can come up. Right, try this. Right, really nice. And we'll try with the disco loop. So the next thing we're going to do is go through some top loops. So we've got loads to choose from here. I'm only going to go through the ones that say 123 BPM because these are more housey ones. These other loops are more for like new disco and stuff like that. Right, so let's give these a try. Yeah, that's really nice. So we could do something with that. I'm going to cut the filter here just so we can hear the top loops. We're still going to have the vibe of the music loop, but yeah, it's not going to be as full on. It's better. Try that. There's a nice shaker in that I like. That's the right idea. I think I'm going to look for a perc loop though, like for the off snares. Yeah, so we'll leave that. I like that bit at the end. We'll get that in. I think I'm going to add a tambourine separate. Right, okay. I'm just going to play the kick and the top loops. I like both of them. I think the first one we could do more with it. I like the shakers, but I think we could add one separate. And same as the off snares. But this I really like, so we'll play it again. I'm not sure about the open hat, so let's just get a little section of this. Yeah, we'll use that and we'll just double it across. We'll try with a clap. And we'll try with everything else as well. Yeah, I really like it. So we could tighten the loop a bit. Right, so I've got it soloed here. I'm just going to drag this down. .50's okay, I think. Try it with a kick. Maybe 70. I'll drop it to 65 then. Yeah, okay, that'll do for now. So I'm going to get an EQ on it and take the low end off. Try 250 hertz. Yeah, that'll do for now. So we'll get it underneath the hats folder. So I'm going to do two more things in this video. We're going to get an off snare and a crash in. So we're going to go back into the French house pack. And I know I've got some house snares in here. There we go. So we've got 6 here. So we'll give these a try. I think we want something more like rapid than this. Yeah, more like that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I really like this one. So I'm just going to try it with the kick. So let's EQ it. I know there'll be low end on this. Yeah, we don't need that. Right, let's hit it with the top loop. Okay, I'm going to add the bass. I can hear one on the end here, actually. Let's just do that now while I can hear it. Drag it in a bit more. I want some swing on it. Yeah, that's the right idea. I'll move it a bit more. And we'll add more perk hits in the next video, just like some call and response stuff. I'm going to try it with the clap and the music loop. Okay, I'm going to colour this up and name it then. We'll get it up here, we'll group it, and we'll call the group percussion. And we can actually extend this now. So I'm going to move this across. We'll double this up. So we've got a minute's worth of section here. We'll take a couple of kicks out here. We'll do one on the end as well. Right, let's see what we do here as far as like a variation. Let's see if we can take something from this full disco loop for a variation. That could work. Now I'm going to make a copy of this. So let's replace this with this here. I'm going to get this up here. I'll delete that now and maybe repeat this. And double this again. And we'll mess around with the filter at this point. In fact, I will probably have this here in the next bit. So that's the halfway point. And what we'll do is use the very end of this loop here. So this part, we'll use this right at the end. So let's get this, we'll double it up and just put this here. So we'll listen to the two variations here. That's definitely working. And this last bit here. So I'm going to get a crash in quickly. So go to samples, crashes. We'll just get a 909. There we go. We'll just get this one and double it across. We can make this a bit more frequent actually, so we'll do that. I've grouped it up, call it crashes. So let's tweak the bass to match the chop here. So we need to figure out the note. So this one's pretty easy, it's just repeating on the F sharp. So it's going. I'm just going to play this in. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to join all that up. So that's the first variation. So there we go. It's pretty straight, that. Then we've got the double. Okay, great. So let's just try this from here. Okay, we'll do the last one at the end. So this bit. So the notes on the end are D and E. Right, I'm going to record that in. Right, so we'll go in, straighten everything up. everyone there. Really nice. I'm going to join that all together. Right, so that's definitely a good start. We've got our idea in, we've got the bass in, we've got some percussion, and we've got a main breakdown section, which is our full disco loop. So all the loops and samples are going to be available on the channel membership as well. And I'll update them as I go. There's going to be more and more things happening. So I'm going to be arranging the track tomorrow. And then the day after that, I'm going to be finishing it. So I'll update the samples as they go. Right, so let's play everything all the way through. Turn this on at the halfway point. Nice. And then our main breakdown. And we'll play it in full. We'll extend it, obviously. The idea is definitely right, though. Okay, join me tomorrow for part 2, where we're going to arrange this track.